What's up, sneak peekers? It's Simi. I'm out here at the South by Southwest red carpet for Americana. We're going to be talking to some of the cast and crew. Can't wait to see what they have to say. A lot of your previous pieces sort of centered around historical pieces. So what about Americana is different?
Oh, well, yeah, Americana, I guess maybe it's not different. I'm kind of obsessed with just how, unfinished business of, America kind of keeps coming up in new forms, and how the stories that we're told and that we inherit kind of affect how, basically how we conduct ourselves as people, the stories we tell ourselves, and then how those kind of intersect. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to get at in Americana. But I think that's kind of a theme through it all. It's my first film, and it's weirdly very autobiographical, even though nothing in the movie happened to me. But it's very much me taking all of these things that I was raised on. I grew up in the world of small town trailer parks and stuff like that, and Burt Reynolds and Clint Eastwood movies and all this kind of stuff. And I'm trying to kind of retrieve that and see what I can still bring into the present day and maybe add some wrinkles and perspectives that wasn't there on the original versions. But while still I still love this stuff too, even though warts and all. So that's a long answer to the short question. Yeah.
What brought you to this project?
So funny. It's good. Well, this project had a great screenplay. I was available when it shot, and I'm a fan of Sydney Sweeney. That was enough for me to sign on, and I've watched the film recently, and I'm really proud of it. Yeah.
What drew me? I really like the role of Chandra, playing Chandra in this movie, and I really liked her because she really resonated with me. She's very intellectual, which I like to think I'm intellectual, but she's a classy woman. You'll see her when you see the movie, but I also really wanted to work with Tony because Tony is an amazing director. So when I got the audition, I was like, oh, what? Yes. So I was super happy to get the role, to be able to work with such an amazing cast. Come on, you have Halsey here, you have freaking everybody. So I was super excited to be a part of it.
So you've been in the game for a really long time. I mean, since 1992, right? So what aspects of, Native American representation in TV have you seen progress over time?
I think it's progressed quite a bit, actually. We're finally being able to tell our own stories. Shows like Reservation Dogs and Dark Winds, and we've got Native writers in the room now, as well as Native directors. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't have any of that. We've got Native producers now, so we've made some strides, some progress, but I think that we got a ways to go. But it's definitely been progress since I started in the business in 1992. So.
I wrote for a show called Longmire, and I wrote a lot of stories on set in the Cheyenne Reservation. And I knew enough from that to know I don't know anything. Frankly, as a white guy writing about res culture, I grew up next to the Muckleshoot Indian Reservation. Doesn't mean I know it, but it means that I'm curious about it, interested about it. And so I think one of a friend of mine, Marcus Red Thunder, was consultant on this, and so we would talk about the way res people talk, or what they would say, what they wouldn't say, or things that I would get wrong, and stuff like that. And so I think that helped a lot. And then I worked with Zahn, Zahn McClarnon, who plays Ghost Eye. We were on Longmire for 5 seasons, and so we had talks. And I changed I would change scenes with his input and to get that better. So it was. I don't know if it was a surprise because I knew I didn't. There's limits to what I knew. But I was surprised at how well it came out with me coming in and then us kind of collaborating to kind of bring a side of American Indian life or that doesn't make it on the screen very much, and that doesn't maybe fall into some of the stereotypes that you see. And because in a lot of ways Americana is it's my spin on a Western, a Cowboys and Indians movie. But it's a very different take on it. Yeah, and so that was probably the most fun.
And then just like one last question. So what advice do you have to, students looking to break into this industry?
Work hard, but don't let passion and ambition become obsession. Obsession never served anybody. Thank you for watching Texas Student TV.